Start streaming.
No way.
Way, dude.
Streamification.
Streamification. Creator Studio. How do we find my live stuff so I know if it's working?
We have streamification.
Yay. Now as soon as we get in here.
Yay us. We even have audio.
Audio? Alright. But we don't have watchers. That's the next thing.
There they are. Stuart's here.
Stuart's here. Hey, look at this. YouTube still says there's none of you here, but I know you're here.
YouTube doesn't know anything.
YouTube doesn't know, but we know you know. How's our audio, guys? Does it sound good? I've changed the position of the microphone because we're so many in, and now is this the right thing? It's not going to be the right thing there. That's a whole different issue.
Yeah.
Oh, look, the stream health is worse.
Yay.
That's what we need to know. How do you fix this stupid thing?
It's a mystery. It's a big mystery. People say it sounds good.
Sounds good, low latency.
Thanks, Bradley. Bradley said my girlfriend wanted to FaceTime me, but you got priority.
All right.
Wow. Well,
that happens.
I don't know if that
cool
says I don't know if it says more about us or your girlfriend, but thanks.
That's all right. We're cool with that. We got stuff to talk about today. Let me look at the info. What did I title this thing?
You titled it "Hire Us to Do the Typing for You."
Yes.
Zen server, FreeNAS, pfsense. Pfsense.
Pfsense. So, this pile of mess in front of us has been another test server. I just been kind of rocking out a few more videos on this because I get a lot of questions, and that's a lot of times the source of my videos of, oh, people really want to know this thing here. So we actually had someone who follows from the channel, and we got a phone call from Brazil today with a couple questions. I thought it was kind of cool. They're like, pardon my English. I'm like, no, pardon mine. I mean, look, we talk to a lot of people here in America that only speak English, and they don't speak it real well.
I'll be honest with you. I understood a lot more of what he said than I have some people who've called.
Yeah, the phone call we had about an hour ago was almost incoherent.
Yeah. And they're like from the area.
They live rather close. But most of the conversations with that particular person are incoherent.
Yeah,
that's all right. It's all billable. That's important.
That's right.
So we've been rocking out a lot more videos, as you've seen. We are getting hired for more jobs to do this stuff, which is awesome. That's what we like to hear. And I just finished running the numbers, and this is the first time in a number of years where we actually had a profitable July. And we might, based on the alignment of the payments, have a profitable, what's the next month? August. I think about that.
Boy, we haven't finished July yet. You mean a profitable June?
Profitable June.
Profitable June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a profitable June, which was...
And then, let's see, it's the 12th. We might have a profitable July if the payments, the payments work out. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we're working on. So that's all good stuff. That's all good things. More and more people have been hiring us for stuff, which is... I want to reiterate again, for those of you that want to hire us, that's what we do.
You can do it.
And as that comes in, that's one of the things I've been balancing of whether or not how much we want some channel sponsors. I've been trying to avoid some. We're actually, as they realize we're getting more popular, more people want to sponsor us, but I don't want to just take anyone. So that's that's a big deal for me not having to do it. So if I can keep that up, that's awesome. I mean, I like money, but I also don't like channels that turn into giant advertisements. I mean, if that's the way the channel has to monetize, they have to do it that way. That's different. That's because they don't have another monetization method. They monetize by doing that. But what I am hoping to do, and I had a couple sponsorship ideas, maybe they're listening, is maybe a couple of these server companies, like maybe ServerMonkey or something, to send us some stuff. And we'll do some testing with it. We get a lot of random things we pull out of clients all the time, old servers and stuff like that. That's where some of this comes for
clients' offices. Let's clarify that.
Yeah, just rip.
We didn't just pull it right out of the. We didn't pull it out of the client necessarily.
Yeah. Not necessarily out of the client. So, what we're diving. I got one of them came in. I ordered some really cheap stuff, and we have a recycler local that I got to call up. They're just super disorganized, like every recycler I've ever been to. But being disorganized also means they sell me stuff for cheap. But I've been grabbing a few more of 10 gigabit equipment, and I'm going to do some tutorials on setting up 10 gigabit at an affordable price. This is another eBay purchase, another 10 gigabit card, 10 gigabit.
10 there you go.
Okay, English.
10 gigabit.
Yeah, 10
gigabit.
Yeah, we're getting excited about it. Fiber optic. And I do some videos on of how to set all these things up. That's why I'm gathering up a couple, and I'm going to have some physical stuff to kind of go over. It's a good way for people to get an understanding. The demands on technology jobs are just so high right now, and it's a great field to get into. I think that's a lot of the people that follow my channel, or a lot of people want to get into the field, not sure where to get started. And all my virtualization tutorials are very helpful for setting this up. And the physical layer matters quite a bit. I had tweeted out, I think I mentioned it last week, the falling from the sky, the moving from cloud hosting. When you build your own server stack, or let's say you rent a colo rack, I mean, you still need that high availability, high connectivity, but you may want to build some of that yourself, and you can build it with redundant fiber links and everything else. The same concept that makes you understand how a SAN works at 10 gigabit applies to your 20 gigabit, 40 gigabit, 100 gigabit SAN connections. So that's one thing nice. All the concepts, even though, yeah, this card's like 5 years old, you wouldn't be using it in an enterprise today, the concepts still follow over all the way. So I'll be doing a lot of that, more videos, and if you just made videos on how to use their equipment, be good. Setting up a Dell R710, installing software, yeah. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. That's part of the servers for a couple things. Right now, it's actually testing FreeNAS 11U2 Beta 1 because I needed some hardware to run it on because FreeNAS runs best like that. So that's for a demo. It's also going to be a demo for my XCP-NG getting started tutorial. So I'm going to do a walkthrough with XCP-NG from raw blank server to loading it. And then it'll be a follow-up of how to attach a SAN to it. So we'll do one on local storage, and then we'll do one on SAN. So I'll have kind of a complete video from start to finish getting your home lab started. I've done this with getting started with FreeNAS. I've done a getting started with pfSense, and this will be a getting started with virtualization with XCP-NG. And then all the other videos kind of fall into place because I have a lot of videos on how to use it once it's up and running, but I haven't done with XCP-NG a start to finish video to make sure people understand the entire thing. FreeNAS Corel is dead. It's been dead for a while. I'm sorry if you have not gotten over its death or was not at the funeral when that was announced. It's been dead for a while. The FreeNAS 11U2, and I did a preview of the new UI. I have a video from the other day. That new UI, if you are speaking about Corel and the new UI, that is it. That is the new UI is coming in 11.2, which is why I'm doing some of the testing on there. Low power consumption hardware. Yeah, that's the hardware low power consumption on FreeNAS. I may do some of those. This is another thing that I am going to be working with some sponsors on. This is why I'm getting very specific with the sponsors. Maybe they're listening, probably not to my vlogs, but I'm gonna reach out to some of them, and I want to talk to them about getting some parts. They can sponsor the video in that because I don't mind saying, hey, this is XYZ company who sponsored this low-powered FreeNAS build, and I'll walk you through all the steps on that. So I am going to do a few of those type of build videos. Those kind of sponsors just make a lot of sense to me because that way I don't have to buy the hardware. Because part of the problem is I don't have a need for the box directly other than just to build it. But maybe that'll be kind of fun. We'll do the build and do a giveaway with it.
Oh.
That might be kind of fun. So I have a lot of equipment. The guys that work here have a lot of equipment. So what are we going to do with another box at home when we already have a box? So why not a giveaway? That seems like a fun idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dell 12A, too low power through. It's a relatively measure. Yeah, I'll even do, I have our plugged in over here, our kilowatt is setting off to the side here, and we'll even cover the wattage on there, because I think that's a lot of concern people have on that, and so, yeah, that might be fun, do some giveaways and sponsored by,
why not?
Hey, Server Monkey, if you're listening, send me some stuff.
Yeah, let us give your stuff away.
Let us give your stuff away. We'll even build something with it, put it on there, and away we go.
Yeah.
So those are my, some fun things that we got going on. The other ones are going to be, the whole pfSense. I've been doing a lot more with that. I did something interesting today, and I realized it's been a while since I've done it, where people have weird network setups.
Okay.
Guy called me, want to know if I had time. Coincidentally, I had time just before the video. He's someone who's actually watched the channel, and we've done other work for him in the past. He's got a large block of IPs. He had one specific server that whenever he outbound on that specific server needs to map to a special IP address. That's going to be a fun talk. I have another guy, and hopefully when it's done, he's been great to talk to. He's also someone who's another YouTube follower. We're doing some storage consulting with him. And once all that's said and done, because he has some pretty cool backup stuff, it might be fun if you'll let me tell some of the story of what we're going to be doing in configuring and how he set it up. So it's going to be some of that. Also, if you noticed, a couple days ago, I did an interview with, was it Chris Moore? He's one of the engineering guys over at FreeNAS and head of all the pfSense development stuff. So that was a fun interview if you haven't watched it. Yeah, so we have a few more interviews we're lining up with other people. So we did Michael Lucas, the guy who wrote the book on ZFS. Literally, he wrote 2 of them. So, so I really want to focus on sharing a lot of knowledge on this stuff because it scales upward of enterprise. I mean, the storage consulting job for this other gentleman is 300 terabyte servers, I think is what the grand plan once it's all deployed is going to be.
How many of those?
3.
Oh, 3. Okay,
300 terabyte servers.
100. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying 300 terabyte.
Yeah,
like several 300 terabyte. Oh no, that's
servers. Yeah, 3 of them. So it's going to be quite huge.
Yeah. Wow.
Which JBOD cards for Dell R710? I don't remember off the top of my head, but I know I think you can just use the regular one as long as this depends. If you want to use it for FreeNAS, as long as it supports all the drives, you're good. There's actually a couple forum posts you can find that are get specifically, but you don't want the ones with the RAID controller on them. You want it FreeNAS to have direct access to the hardware. Well, I did my how to move FreeNAS from one machine to another. That's the important aspect, is making sure that you direct access. Don't use RAID controllers in between. That would be bad. So, which JBOD card for a Dell R710? Yeah, it's going to be whichever one does direct. There's a bunch of forum posts. Type in Dell 7 R10 RAID card FreeNAS, and you'll find a forum post that actually answers that question. I sent someone a link before because someone describes the functions in the FreeNAS forum exactly of which RAID card in better detail than I have. Like that, someone took the time to write and type.
Wow.
Yes. So. Yeah, I think it's the Perk 6i. Don't quote me on it. Find that post. They're more accurate than whatever verbal thing Tom rattles off out of his head right now. Mixed hosts like MSI, like mismatched hosts, different hardware. Failover is bad idea on mixed hosts. And if the hosts are like AMD Intel or the processors are not the same, you're going to have a hard time. Because the way virtualization works, it passes the processor through to the virtual machine. That means the machine has to, on the fly, change out the processor. Most, even Linux OSs, don't really support on-the-fly processor changeout, so failover fails. The best idea, if you say, I want to build a failover cluster, buy 3, minimum 3 to get started with a HA failover cluster, 3 identical machines. That's how you ensure no problems. It's as simple as that. They can be a little bit slower, like as long as they're like the same series Xeon, one's like 2 gigahertz, one's there, but even that can cause an issue. The absolute best scenario is 3 identical machines. That way, no matter which one it's on, there's absolutely no hardware changes between any of them. Because think about that, you're stepping down the processor speed, for example. I'm going from a 2.9 gigahertz here to a 2.6 gigahertz when you pass the VM. I don't know what'll happen. Windows might go, my processor just changed out on me. Let me blue screen.
Yeah.
Windows wants to blue screen when the processor doesn't change out.
Right. It's always looking for an excuse.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, keep them all the same, your life will be better. Now, if you're just moving things around and you just want to shut down a VM and pass it over, mixed hardware is actually not a problem. This AMD box, I loaded Zen Server and played around with this. I passed it from Intel machines to here. As long as the VMs were turned off, worked perfectly fine. Turn them off, boot them up over here. Linux doesn't mind hardware changes, so it works perfectly fine as far as processor changes. But more and more tutorials coming on all that fun stuff. That's the big picture of that. What else happened that we really wanted? There was a few things me and Marvin were laughing about earlier.
We were trying to remember. Yeah,
we can't remember any of them.
We're getting into some funny things happening. Our big project that we've talked about several times is coming to a close.
I almost posted a teaser video and I thought it kind of sucked, so I didn't post it. I saved you guys from some of my horrible videos, but I'm wow, I'm just a moron.
It was cool. I stopped by there today and got to sample the wares, let's say, and it was badass. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty cool. So that's coming to a close. So
that's exciting. We're gonna do a drone fly through.
I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait for that video to be done. My gosh,
there's a lot to it. I've been so buried at my office. I haven't had time to do this, but this is the next thing coming up. Is we just installed Wi-Fi in the harbor. I teased it or talked about it, and it's planned. It's done. It's deployed. They're on the Wi-Fi in the boat. So
they're on a boat.
They're on a boat, and anyways, so we're gonna fly the drone over and talk about how we put the Wi-Fi in, and talk about the cabling and stuff for that. It's just been tough to try and get that, so I'm trying to work on ways we can film more of it, but it's just that the filming gets very difficult because we all have jobs to do, and my job isn't filming things, so.
More's the pity.
I don't know where that is either. Thank you for Googling that, because I
saw
don't know where you're from.
Oh, it's off it's like off the east coast of Madagascar.
We have someone who's off the coast
Holy
of Madagascar.
cow.
That is awesome.
Like Madagascar is like remote enough. This is like remote from Madagascar. Wow, that's pretty cool.
So pfSense versus the USG, we do both. I haven't touched Smoothwall in forever. So I was back, if you have been around this long, my first firewalls were Mandrake firewalls, if you can remember from back in the way back when. Will you be doing a video on a 5.8 UniFi? Is the 5.8 available? UniFi, you guys got me curious because now I'm excited. 5.8. Is it released? Did I miss this? Yes, it just got released the other day. That's right.
Oh, okay.
Never mind. You didn't miss it. I just need to do it. Nope. It's been out. Yeah. Yes, I'm going to be doing that. That's on my list. I do have this bookmark.
Yeah. That was a good point. You have someone with a VPN in Madagascar.
It was. You're probably
very
right.
good point. Very good point.
So, I will definitely be doing the 5.8 video. That's actually, that's going to be this weekend I'm doing that.
Well, I mean, when did it come out? Like 2 days ago, 3 days
ago?
It's
a week ago, I think.
About a week ago.
Yeah,
so.
It happened while I was doing we were blowing up printers, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that's
you can't interrupt the print.
I was going to do it that weekend. We blew up printers.
Yeah,
and,
so there you go. I'll do it this weekend.
So,
since we have no more printers to blow up.
We've wrecked all the printers. And now there's no more printers to blow up. So,
if you want to send us more stuff to blow up, feel free.
Yeah, there's videos on both pfSense and USG. I've done a lot of both. Now, I think what's funny, because I've been called names by at least one person on the USG.
That's mean.
I know. That's YouTube. Anyways, the USG, someone says, you don't know much about it. This can't be all the features. And I'm like, that's all the features. And the guy says, you're an idiot or something like that, like whatever. And I don't care. I know. The USGs, I like them, but man, they're missing, unless you want to edit the JSON file, there's just some advanced features they don't have. An example would have been today. So pfSense has the ability to take it by the ports or by the IP addresses, and then, like the guy with a large block of IP addresses and a dozen servers with a pfSense firewall, and we were able to remap his mail port to go out of a different IP address so he could get off a blacklist. This is a project we did today. That's not that hard in pfSense. That's pretty easy. You just go to the outbound firewalls, you make a rule to map your outbound server to a specific port, and his row of servers, only one of them has a different IP address externally now, so you can change the outbound NAT. No problem. That is not as easy to do in the USG. That's not like a click. That's time you edit command line files and move it around, which makes it kind of a pain in the butt. And therefore, I like the USGs, but for people with more complex deployments and networks, there's the issue. Here's the next issue. We had a client today, the VPN issue Steve was dealing with. Well, here everyone asks me, why aren't you using L2PT VPNs? I'm like, well, they have trouble with that. So the person didn't think they were going to have a problem. They had a problem because they have more than one person behind the same NAT over here, but they don't want to do a site-to-site. They just want these two people. But if they connect, L2P2 has a hard time with VPNs out of the same NAT inbound at the same ports. You know what doesn't have a problem with that? OpenVPN with pfSense. It's easy to deploy. That's why it's our go-to solution all the time. It just works. It cuts through double NATs, weird firewalls. And if things get sticky, there are ways you can, and I got to do a video, this is on my to-do list, but we're going to do a video on how to use OpenVPN over SSL. And the reason you do that is because it hides you from deep packet inspection. So That's a problem for some people because they censor VPNs where they're at. They don't want them using them. So if you hide it and encapsulate OpenVPN and SSL traffic, you do it. Now, the reason OpenVPN works so well is because it's a single UDP port. That means it cuts through firewalls without a problem, which is a stream. But because it's a single UDP port and it can be, the traffic pattern can be detected, you can see it through DPI. Therefore, the solution is wrap it in SSL because you can't block SSL traffic unless you're blocking all the internet. So if you encapsulate an SSL, it will breach the great firewall of some less than great places that may have a firewall.
What?
Oh, okay. Where can you donate to our channel? You can donate here via YouTube. You can donate via paypal.me / Lawrence Systems.
Yeah.
You can just email us, email the info, and we'll reply back with where you can send money. You can mail checks, make checks payable to Lawrence Technology. There's lots of ways you can do this.
That's one thing we will let you do is give us money.
Yeah. So, where's the ban button again? Add monitor. Report. There we go. There we go. Look at this. We can report people. Well, is this harassing me or someone else? We'll say someone else. There we go. That person's gone.
Oh.
If you fear for your safety, please contact the authorities. There we go. This report. Oh, no, that doesn't. So, I don't know. Oh, well, I'm over this guy.
Do we accept donations via crypto?
Currently, we don't. And I hate taking that will take my monies. Yes, we will.
You sure will. There was a question somewhere, or today.
OpenVPN over SSL is brilliant. Yes, it
I guess
is.
okay, there it is. Yeah, okay.
Yes, that's like I said. That's definitely some fun stuff. So I plan on more videos on that. That's definitely a lot of fun. A few people have asked me about doing collab videos. I did see Linus and Wendell teased that they're going to be doing a collab video. I don't know. I've reached out to him. I don't really have a specific idea. I think Wendell's a super nice guy. He's someone I would maybe be interested in collab with. I don't know what to collaborate with so many people. I used to know the guys like the Linux Gamer. He's pretty cool. I've chatted with them before. They're nice people. I don't know what to do a collab video about. Me and my cousin were talking about that because she does YouTube, and she's like, hey, go to this XYZ video conference, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but there's not a secret to what I do. Like for her, she's learning some of the tricks of the trade, but I'm like, I'm not trying to get a bunch of sponsors and have brand placement everywhere.
Right, yeah.
Our model's a little bit different, so I don't know if those industry conferences are as relevant to me. I want to work with some of the other YouTubers. That'd be cool because, hey, a mention from someone like Linus gives you a lot of clout, but I don't know how I could really work with him. You know what I mean? Like we are both a tech channel. He is a very different type of tech channel. Mm-hmm. So
what do you offer each other is the question.
Well, what do I offer him more than anything else? I know.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Me.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I don't know how I can. I mean, don't get me wrong. If Linus says, "Hey, Tommy, I want to do something," I'm
sure do.
I'm in. He's got like 6 million subscribers. But the other side of it is, I don't know what I would do for him. I'm some channel with 30,000 subscribers that doesn't. So maybe I'm just getting down and thinking about that, but I'm not. You
can make him some pulled pork. That was really good.
I want to see Linus have some hot sauce with us.
That would. Yes, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Is there a way to wireless card as a NIC on any hypervisor? Not that I know of. Well, I take that back. You can do it, but it doesn't pass through as a wireless through the hypervisor. Unless you have a hypervisor that does PCI pass-through, then you can pass the device through and it would work. But I don't know why you'd want to. It's one of those... You thought of, what is that phrasing? You spent so much thinking about if you could. You never asked why you should or something.
It's the Jurassic Park thing.
Yeah.
That you worried so much about whether you could, you didn't think about whether you should.
Yeah, you really should. I can't even think.
Tell Linus to calm down with the amount of servers.
He's got a lot of servers. There we go. Hide user. That should go away.
We'd like to thank you personally for your time and dedication to your videos. I've learned a lot. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you.
Yep. So this Dado Mini thing, there's a project for it. I haven't played much with the Dados. I've had people ask. It's the same thing about the. This comes up a whole lot. Synology, QNAP. There's all these different NAS companies out there. People are like, well, Tom, why do you do FreeNAS? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, real simple here. And there's a video that someone tagged me and I thought was kind of funny. And I messaged that person. I said, if you need help with a FreeNAS build, I think it's called the Gamers Nexus. Anyways, he does a bunch of gaming videos and things like that. Not really my niche. Big popular channel though. And he had a QNAP die on him. Well, good news is he was able to recover it and recover whatever data was on there and plug in the an external power supply, kind of rig it together. But this is the problem with those proprietary NASs. If the physical box of that proprietary NAS dies, you have to then go buy another identical company's NAS. If it's a QNAP, you buy another QNAP because they're not using this open standard when it comes to the way they do the RAID. This is ZFS. This is FreeNAS loaded on here. Not only can you just move this over to another machine if all the hardware dies, if you decided you didn't like FreeNAS but loved your hard drives and loved the ZFS you set up on there, this is done with ZFS. If you load anything that can run ZFS, you can import these same ZFS pools back in. They're completely non-proprietary. So that's a huge deal to me that you don't have these vendor lock-ins, you don't have these proprietary things that keep you tied to a specific vendor. So that's kind of a big deal for me of being open. This is one of the reasons why I did the video for XCP-NG and Zen Orchestra today about the backups. One of the first things that I comment is the same thing that they have as a bragging point. We're doing agentless backups that require no special software, no special anything. We're just, as their name implies, Zen Orchestra, orchestrating the backups through this tool, but it produces completely normal files. It produces the standard Zen XVA files that I can just copy onto any Zen server. So even if I didn't, I built it all with Zen Orchestra, but I don't want to use it no more. I just want the files it created. You can just take the files it created and import VMs. There's no proprietariness between all of this. And this is what a lot of these companies try to sell you. Use our magical backup software on this subscription that we will randomly raise the price on. Oh, no, you now have the backups all locked in here and we decided to raise the price. Sorry, they only work with our system and only work as long as you have a subscription to our system. That's vendor lock-in that you see a lot of.
Sounds like a racket.
Sounds like a racket. I've never been a big fan.
Thank you, James.
Hey, thank you, James. Keep up the great work. Love the content.
Yeah.
Awesome. Appreciate it, James.
Can you put pfSense on a QNAP?
I don't think so, but I don't know. So I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know if the QNAP will run it. FreeNAS runs on, generally speaking, there's probably some exceptions where someone can hack it together. It's open source, compile it, make things happen. Generally speaking, you want a reasonably powerful x86-based hardware or x64, 64-bit, plenty of memory, and direct access to the hard drives. That being said, Raspberry Pis are not ideal in any way to run your FreeNAS, so not really the best thing. So as long as you got a decent hardware, you can run it. So I don't know the hardware specs of the QNAP, like what's physically inside of some of them. I don't know if they're x86 or not. Tape drive backups, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I think pfSense cooperation with QNAP is because they're offering some virtualized versions of it. I think the QNAP will run them virtually. I think that's what they were doing. So it's just based on LVM and MD RAID. Their entire RAID can be restarted and read on a list. That's nice. I did not know that about Synology. That's pretty cool. The downside is they based it on LVM and ND RAID. That's the bad part. They didn't base it on ZFS. If they chose ZFS, they'd be competition. ZFS compared to the way Linux handles RAID, night and day. ZFS is just landslide wins in terms of features and reliability and performance. You can't get that out of the LVM system. There's a reason why large-scale systems are never built on LVM anymore. They're built. This is the back end. It just doesn't work as well at scale that you can get out of the FreeNAS system with ZFS. And that's actually even a lot of custom systems run on ZFS. Woohoo!
Wow!
Look at that. Awesome.
Thank you very much, Ryan. They are switching over to Zen server at their office.
I think I did an install walkthrough. If you go through my Zen Orchestra videos, the Community Edition, I have a link to an auto deploy and build tool, and it's just run it and go. It just works. If you email me, if you can't find it, I will find it for you. Ryan, I'm sorry I cannot see your last name. Look at this. HLE, awesome.
Wow, thank you so much.
You should maybe watch Steve Gerhardt. He basically... nothing related to games except for benchmarking hardware. He did really great hardware analysis of the new tech stuff. Really fun to watch. Cool. I haven't really watched the guy. Like I said, I just seen when it said Gamers Nexus, I thought maybe it was games. I'm also not as interested in benchmarking either because a lot of times you're benchmarking it for the purpose not of purchasing it for like server equipment. More benchmarks in terms of games is what I assume. But maybe, I don't know. I got nothing against people who game. Matter of fact, there's a couple gamers on the other side of the wall over there.
Yeah.
I'm not in there. I'm positive they're playing games as we speak.
Oh yeah, that's a good
It's
bet.
it's pushing 5 o'clock. They're playing video games.
Oh no, it's past 5. They are definitely playing games.
Just received the Netgate with pfsense you guys reviewed.
No. Yeah, well, you can. You'd have to double NAT it. So in order to make that work, you could put the pfSense and then put the USG and then put everything else. You're double NATing it. I guess it works, but it's not ideal probably. For some reason, it's reboot. The pools will disappear, but usually brought back with one simple command. With this one simple command, we can bring all your pools back.
See, that's where we needed the zoom that we were doing earlier, playing around before.
One simple command. You may have to look at the way you have the order of startup. Maybe it's the way it's mounting the file system. I would need to know more details. I'm also not an expert. I've had trouble when I was playing with ZFS on Linux myself. I knew it was something that I was doing wrong. I did not take the time to research it. I do know it just works better in FreeNAS. So that generally my setups are standard Linux boxes. What all the storage I attach them to is this. For example, our storage systems for higher end UniFi builds, UniFi running in Linux runs beautifully. Storage is a FreeNAS box whenever possible, or if it will tie a couple RAID drives together in there, so that'll work too. So I donated $1 billion, but YouTube blocked it. Well, that's a shame. Try again. Keep trying smaller amounts until you get to the billion.
Until you hit the right.
And we'll accept $1 billion $1 donations, by the way.
Oh,
too.
sure, absolutely.
And I know YouTube won't block those. Throwing it out there.
There it is. See.
But maybe I will do. That's something. Maybe when I do my getting started video, I'll walk through actually how to run that script. But it's pretty straightforward. It's on GitHub, and you get it, and it loads the Zen Orchestra for you. So you put the script in, it grabs all the pieces. Someone was tagging me in tweets, and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. They didn't read the details, but I'm glad they followed up with another tweet going, "Oh, I loaded the wrong version of Node." There's a very specific, if you read through the documents of how to set it up by hand, it tells you specifically which versions of Node to use, and they matter a lot. So whatever version they say to use is the one you really should be using.
Use that one.
Use that one.
Yeah.
That's going to throw it out there.
You do a Windows VM setup in FreeNAS 11.2.
That's part of the reason I have real hardware here is because this is the FreeNAS 11.2 box, and I want to see how far they've come with the Beehive, which Beehive is the virtual machine system that is inside of FreeNAS. So I have not done a lot of testing with it. Tony has, from co-host from the podcast I do. So Tony's done a lot of testing, and he's given me the woes and troubles and things he's had to do to make things work and little stuff. Tony's a busy guy. He's in China for a couple of weeks. He's a teacher, and he works security for a large hospital doing IT. So between that, and he's a family guy, so it's hard to get him on the channel to really break down all the problems he's had and how he fixed them. But the problems he had were enough to make me go, I'm not ready to really do testing with it. But they made a lot of changes in 11.2 that makes me go, okay, I think I'm ready to do some testing with it. So
Now you're ready.
now I'm ready. So
Is there a video you made of how you deployed the combination of pfSense and UniFi for customers?
Yeah, kind of. It's really the same thing. It's just a pfSense firewall, and everything else is UniFi after that. So it's pfSense firewall, UniFi switches, UniFi access points. It's not really any. There's not much of a video to do on it. But what I am going to do for you here But I'm probably going to do 2 videos. So there's the
For the price of
Fun,
one?
For 2 videos for the price of one. The Revved Up Fun video. That's going to be how we integrate both of those, because I'm going to do a video of all the hardware we installed and how we installed it in the physical layer. But then I get to the software layer, I'm going to talk about network planning, because we built the network from top to bottom. And we built it with our usual deployment of a pfSense with UniFi. And I'm going to cover that because a lot of people ask, like, how'd you plan the network? How'd you get this set up? And that's what I'm going to cover for you. How we planned it, what VLANs we chose, what was the reasoning for setting up the different VLANs, how we deployed the guest access versus the office access, and how the breakdown of that works. So that's definitely going to be all in there. They have a lot of complicated things in there. I didn't want to... I was going to be using UniFi, but I said, yeah, there you're going to need traffic shaping and some other stuff. And the pfSense, I can VPN in whenever I need to get work done. It's got all the features. They may want to VPN for some of the stuff that they're talking about doing. I have to get set up, like, remote network access for the other company that runs all the vending machines, or what do you call them? Arcade machines. There's all kinds of little complexities that go into it. And I said, it's just easier to put all these on segmented networks and then have it all managed with pfSense, where I know I've got tons of flexibility for all the things that need to be done. But I love the UniFi for all the monitoring. All the switches we use are UniFi. All the PoE switches are UniFi. All the cameras are UniFi. So that is a beautiful stack to be running in there for us to, hey, this camera's not working in this. The camera labels are all there. We know which camera's on what port. We can reset any camera if there's any problem with anything. And we can all do that from the dashboard. So UniFi makes just an absolutely beautiful setup for all that. It's just there. And they're getting so much better. Their new XG Pro looks really promising. And they're adding features all the time. I'm going to have to go through all the features that are going to be in the 5.8 version. But I'm willing to bet there's a whole lot of awesomeness in there, and which is typical for the UniFi stuff.
Yeah.
So we should have brought the cool camera that we were playing with.
Oh yeah, we got some UniFi cameras. We got the UniFi micro cameras. We have all kinds of new stuff that I'm going to be doing some hardware reviews pretty soon on those this weekend. That's my plan. So
Tom has a weekend plan.
My weekend plan. I took last weekend off and went in the woods. So
yeah,
I rode my motorcycle around. That was pretty much last weekend.
Saw some good Facebook posts. It was good stuff.
Yeah, a couple Facebook posts. Have you done Ubuntu with 8 hard drives and a RAID Z1 mirror for... have used, yeah. Best way to use Linux, 1 hard drive failure, Resilver was easy. Yeah, there's, we're recording what stream?
I think he was wondering if this stream will be available.
Oh, we publish them all afterwards. Yeah, you can always watch them afterwards. I know because a lot of people do. Most of the comments, because when you guys do, you're on the chat right now, and then later everyone goes and comments on the video later when they watch it. So there's that.
Yeah. So yes, it will be there.
Yeah, it'll be there. We always hit save and publish. I don't take anything down. I'm all about putting content out all over the place.
It's true. He just throws his content everywhere.
Yeah. So
can you do a video on how to set up a VPN on an edge router? Just got an edge router 4 and can't get it to work with my phone.
Ooh. I don't think I've ever actually done a VPN on an edge router. Willie may have done a video on it. He's got more edge router videos than me because he's actually done more of that. Edge Max has a new interface. I think I covered that when I did my review.
2011 now.
Yes, yeah, 2011 now. They do have a new interface. I covered that with my review of one of the Edge Max switches, but not the Edge Max. I haven't played with the higher end Edge Max. I just had lack of testing. It's on my to-do list. Hey, I know there might be some UniFi people. If one were to land on this desk here, you know our address. It's on our website. If you want to send me one, I certainly don't mind testing one of them.
Truth.
We love the products that we've gotten from you, and we don't mind doing more testing for them. So their interface is not too bad. It's been a while on my to-do list. It's mostly my fault because I got to learn it and become more coherent at it. I want to do a couple Edge switch videos because they're really good prices. I know, with the UNMS. I'd love to put a couple of them together because We have these. We've used these in small offices. I actually run this at my house. This little Edge Router X. They're bigger ones, can do some faster routing for those of you that need that. These are nice pieces of equipment, and I wouldn't mind getting a couple of the bigger ones if someone wants to mail me one. Anyone can mail me one. It doesn't have to be the people that actually made it. Anyone can send me one, and I'll end up doing a video on it because it's here. So that'd definitely be fun. Matter of fact, that'd be kind of fun. Do a video on it and make it a giveaway. So
yeah.
Hey, Ubiquity, if you're
That's a
listening.
great idea.
You guys happen to be,
Yeah.
feel like I
Help
got some
out.
of those.
Make it rain edge routers.
Make it rain edge routers on us.
Somebody wants to know if you'll do a video on your laptop Linux install.
I guess.
If you really want to know.
It's Pop OS. I covered it. I ran through the installer on it. There's nothing unusual. Like next, yes, next. It looks like Windows, but there's no license to install. And it works better. And it's easier. So I like it better. I'm running Pop OS right now. I may do some more getting started with Linux videos. I guess people have asked about that. My biggest challenge to doing them is I haven't used Windows in almost 10 years as my daily usage.
Wow.
Like I only work on Windows servers. I hardly work on Windows desktops, which always makes my staff who watch me muddle through it laugh at me because I look like a newbie trying to click around through. What the hell is this setting at?
Yeah, it happens.
You young whippersnappers in your Windows. Where's that command line at? So, my sister is moving to Ann Arbor from California. Looking forward to trying that Tim Hortons coffee.
Oh yeah, you'll love it. And if she's going to Ann Arbor from California, it won't be too much culture shock.
It will not be. There's some similarities there.
Sure enough, and Ann Arbor's not that far away. Stop by and say hello. We had somebody visit us he was from California, wasn't he?
Yeah, we had a visitor from California, and he brought us some really good habanero mash. That stuff was
he
awesome.
had like a layover or something, right? Or he was here with his dad or something. So he was on his way to the airport anyway. Stopped in and said hello. It was awesome.
Yeah, no, we were pretty happy about
What's
that.
your favorite distro?
Debian. Debian for servers.
His favorite disco, however, is Boogie Fever in Ferndale.
There's so many videos already about how to install distro XYZ. That's part of it too. There's a bunch of people. A lot of them are very glazed over too. Just the distro installs to me have become much less exciting. And me and Phil are going to do this. He's a busy guy, but there's beer involved. We're gonna do some beer and security videos on Linux.
Yes, that's a great idea.
We're going to do some. This is something Phil will commit to.
There's beer involved. He'll do
There's
it.
beer involved. We're going to talk about like when you first load your server in the cloud, how you secure it, how you lock it down. If Phil doesn't have time to do it, I might do it anyways myself. He's better at some of the higher level locking down for things. That's one of the reasons I contract him to do work for things like Apache and that. So, but I know some other people are good at it as well. But I'm going to do some videos on these are the best practices. Go ahead and disable these features. Turn these things on, and this is how you get it all set up and secure. Because as people want to spin more things up in the cloud, make sure it's locked down. So, because that's,
Yeah. Keep your cloud locked down. Locked down.
HBA, JBOD? No, not really. Not external. That's the thing. I know internal ones. We really love those. What are those Kingwin ones that we've recommended in some of our build videos? If you look for any of our larger builds, our FreeNAS builds, or our custom NVR build, we use, I think they're made by Kingwin. There are links in the video to them, and they're in our Amazon store. You can click the link below. Boop, boop. And they work really well for internal. I don't know about making them external. I've not researched it. I don't know. I've not researched any of the JBODs to give you like a recommendation. Most of the ones we see. So there's a lot of enterprise work we do. Matter of fact, tomorrow I'm heading over to a data center for a client to do some work. And that type of stuff gets delivered directly to the client. We deal with some very high-end servers and all kinds of fun stuff, but all that stuff gets delivered direct to client. That's why we rarely see it. And guess what you can't do in a data center? Wander around with your phone and a camera. You have to get special permissions. It's not easy. They're always skeptical when you ask. There's nothing in it for them unless they want to give you a tour of their data center to get clients. They're not always interested in having me come out. If you happen to have a data center, you'd like me to come out with my camera, let me know.
To do it,
If you'd like to fly me to your data center, let me know too. I'll do that too. By the way, you're buying, I'm flying. So.
Yeah.
So I don't have any problems with doing really high-level enterprise and kind of discussing it with you. So there's another sponsorship opportunity that I'm all game for. If someone wants to fly me out somewhere and walk through their data center because it's a advertising ploy, so to speak, for them, all for it. Matter of fact, I want to talk to the FreeNAS people and see if there's any way I can go to their place. And I'd love to do a tour of IX systems. So maybe they're watching, but that's on my to-do list. Reaching out to them. They've been building really cool stuff for a while, and they do actually on their own website post some of their stuff. But we really love their products and their hardware. I mean, they're the people behind FreeNAS, pfsense. Like I said, watch an interview. You get a bigger picture of who they are and what they've been doing. And boy, they've been around a long time doing it. They've been around since the 90s doing this stuff, so they're not new to this.
I hate that the 90s are that long ago. Are you going to keep talking? I have to roll.
I got to roll too. I got somewhere to roll too. Via Hurricane, PSS is weird. And pfsense is weird through IPv6. We'll just say that IPv6 is weird, and no, Tom won't do a video on it because I'm not very good at it. I mean,
it'll be a learning experience.
I haven't had the desire. I haven't had any desire to learn IPv6. There's one thing that I'm a stubborn tech about. It's everyone telling me for. So at the local users group, there's this joke. I can't remember how many years in a row he's been doing it, like 12, maybe 13. Whenever IPv6 was officially rolled out, he did his IPv6 is the next big thing talk, and now he's done it every year since as a joke. It's not weird.
Good.
It's just there's some trickiness to setting it up, and there's not a use case for it for us here in America. It's very popular overseas.
Well,
I know it's coming. I know enough about it. Like I'm familiar with it. And I've actually done some environment stuff, but it's not something I can rattle off the top of my head. So yeah. Oh man, someone's complaining we're not 144p. That rolls out. That's superior, but rather useless. It's very useful. It just we had NAT. Like we've kicked the ball of we're running out of IP addresses down the road so far by creating solutions that don't work. That work around the need for it. One of them is Northern Michigan's an example. I know because I got friends in Northern Michigan that have this problem. They don't give you public IPs anymore for your cable modems and things. Mostly they're like site-to-site wireless up there. Everyone gets a private IP. No one gets a public IP address. That would have been devastating to the gaming community a few years ago. Now, because all the gaming systems connect through proxy servers and that, the problem got kicked down the road further. So it's not coming anytime soon. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for 129 of you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks. Special thanks to those of you who made it rain on us. We appreciate that.
6-4 tunnels are not actually as bad as you think because all the major phone carriers here in the U.S. all run 6-4 tunnels. So in case you didn't know,
so there you go.
They're all the back end is all IPv6 for all phone equipment because of the number of phones they have deployed, and then they tunnel encapsulate IPv4. That's how that all works.
Cool.
That's actually part of that guy's talk.
That's extra knowledge for you today. So
I know a lot of people. I want to get more interviews going. So
that
look forward to that.
That is a good idea.
I know
interviews are fun.
Interviews are fun. People.
So thanks again for watching and all the love.
All the
we'll
love and the monies and everything else.
Yeah. See you in the next video.
See you in the next video, and I'll work on that. Thank you for the donations, and I'll work on that. If you don't find what you're looking for, the gentleman who I can't say his last name that donated $50. And thank you to HLE Computer Consulting here who donated $20. I'm trying to make sure I got everybody's names in here. Ryan, I'm sorry on your last name. But anyways, if you can't find what you're looking for, email me, and I will more than happy to send you the link. Or if there's some part of it that I should do a video on, let me know. Maybe I just run the link and it works, and I have a few other people that have actually contacted me thanking me that it worked. The guy who tagged me on Twitter, other than he missed one piece of instruction, he chose the wrong version. He was supposed to chose the different version. He said it worked too.
No,
so,
okay.
All right, thanks.
All right, see ya.
Clicky, clicky.